Good day everyone. Today we'll be learning about an important topic in pre-calculus, which is geometric sequence and series. So our objectives in today's lesson is to first recognize a geometric sequence. Second is to use the formula of the general term of a geometric sequence to determine the nth term, common ratio, or the ordinal number of a term of the sequence. The third is to determine the geometric means between two numbers. Fourth is to compute the geometric mean of a set of number. And lastly, fifth, find the sum of a finite and infinite geometric sequence if possible. So first is, what is geometric sequence? So does anybody know what is geometric sequence? We can recall it from our topic on our 10th grade. So yeah. Geometric sequence is a type of sequence where each term after the first is obtained by multiplying the previous term by a constant number called the common ratio. So in other words, the ratio between any two successive terms is always the same. So the general form of a geometric sequence is AR squared, AR cubed, and so on, where A is the first term and R is the common ratio. So the common ratio can be positive or negative but cannot be equal to 0. So the general formula of geometric sequence is A sub n is equals to A sub 1 multiplied by r raised to the power of n minus 1, wherein a sub 1 is the first term, r is the common ratio, and n is the nth number. So for example, if you start with 2 and multiply by 3 each time, your sequence will look like 2, 6, 18, 54, and so on. Each number is found by multiplying the previous number by 3, which is 3 is the common ratio. So 2 multiplied by 3 is equals to 6. 6 multiplied by 3 is equals to 18. 18 multiplied by 3 is equals to 54. 54 multiplied by 3 is 54 multiplied by 3 is 162, and 162 multiplied by 3 is 486, and so on. So in geometric sequence, you can also get the common ratio by dividing the term by the previous term. So for example, we have 2, 6, 18, and 54. So we need to find its common ratio. So we need to divide the current term to the previous term. So let's start with this 54. 54 divided by 18, which is this, 54 divided by 18 is 3. So 3 is their common ratio. Let's try another one. 18 divided by 6 is also equal to 3. And also 6 divided by 2 is also equal to 3. So all of this term is when we divide it to the current when we divide the current term to the previous term, the answer is 3. So this means the common ratio is 3. So in this case, if you're looking for the common ratio, you just need to divide the current term to its previous term. And if you're finding the next term here, you just need to multiply the current term to its common ratio, which is this, the ratio of this. And now for our next objective, use the formula for the general term of a geometric sequence to determine the nth term, common ratio, or the ordinal number of a term of the sequence. So this will be reported by Princess CONDE.
N term. Ang formula sa n term kay a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Ang a sub 1 mo na siya ang first term. Ang d, common difference. N, number of term. A sub n, general term.
Example, find the 10 term 5, 12, 19, 20.
Copy the formula. Ang a sub n, ang 10 mo na siyang n kay ito mga pangitaw ang 10 term. So, a sub n equal 5. Ang 5 mo siyang first term. 5 plus 10. Atong 10 mo na siya itong number of term. Muna siya itong number of term. 10 minus 1 times 7. Nakuha na ko ng 7 tungod kay ang sequence ako siyang minus. Example, 12 minus 5 equals 7. 19 minus 12 equals 7. 20 minus 19 equals 7. So, the common difference is 7. So, copy the common difference. A sub 10 equals 5 plus 10 minus 1 equals 9. Copy the common difference. A sub 10 equals 5 plus 9 times 7 equals 63. A sub 10 equals 5 plus 63 equals 68. So, the 10th term is 68. Next, the common ratio. Ang formula sa common ratio is R equals A sub n plus 1 over n. Example, find the common ratio of the sequence 4, 12, 36, 108. 12 divided 4 equals 3. 36 divided 12 equals 3. 108 divided 36 equals 3. So, atong common ratio is 3. Plus kay ordinal. Ang formula sa ordinal a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Example, find the ordinal number of the 43. Ang sequence kay 3, 7, 11, 15. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Since ato mga pangitaw ng ordinal number sa 43, so atong a sub n atong pulihan og 43. Atong first term kay 3 plus n minus 1 times 4. Para 4 is mo na itong common difference. Para makita na to ang 4, atong minus ang 7 minus 3 equals 4. 11 minus 7 equals 4. 15 minus 11 equals 4. So, atong common difference is 4. Ang 3 atong i-substitute. So, 43 minus 3 equals n minus 1 times 4. 40 equals 4 times n minus 1. Ang 4 ato na sa substitute. So, 40 divided 4 equal n minus 1. So, 40 divided 4 equals 10. 10 equals n minus 1. Gifactor out ang n, so nabilin kay negative 1. 10 equal negative 1. So, gisubstitute ang 1 na mo siyang positive 1. 10 plus 1 equals 11.
So our next objective is to determine the geometric means between two numbers. So this will be reported by Balatayo's SCHARFF.
Morning guys, I am Scott. So, the topic one is geometric geometric mean between two numbers and geometric mean of a set of numbers. So let's go. So the first is geometric mean between two numbers between 4 and 16. So first example is GM equals 4 and 6 equals 64 equals 8. So kaning 4 times na naman sa 16, so equals 64. So all you're gonna do is pangitaan mo square root sa 64. So ang square root sa 64 is equals 8. So second example is number 2. Between 9 and 25. GM equals 9.25 equals 225 equals 15. So kaning 15 rin po ko 9 times 25 equals 225. So ang 225 pangitaon lagi nimo ang square root. So ang answer is 15.
So our fourth objective is to compute the geometric mean of a set of numbers, which will be also reported by Balatayo SCHARFF.
So padayon na ta sa geometric mean of a set of numbers. So I have an example. Number 1, 4, 2, 8, and 18. GM equals cube root 2.8 and 0.18 equals cube root 288 equals 6.63. So kaning 6.63 ngayon sa pagkuha 2 times 8 times 18 equals 288. So all we're gonna do is pangitaan nimong cube root sa 288. So equals to 6.63, and that's all. Thank you.
So our last objective is to find the sum of a finite and infinite geometric sequence if possible. So this will be reported by Pauleen Romaquin, which is me. So what is the difference between finite and infinite? So a finite geometric sequence has a fixed number of terms. It has a first term, a common ratio, and a last term, which marks the end of the sequence. And an infinite geometric sequence is continuous independently without an end. It has a first term and a common ratio but no last term. It is usually indicated by 3 dots. So the formula of the sum of finite geometric sequence is if R, or the common ratio, is not equal to 1, we can use the formula that S sub n is equals to A multiplied by 1 minus R raised to the power of n divided by 1 minus R. If the ratio is 1, we can use the formula S is equals to n multiplied by A, where S sub n is sum of the n terms, A is the first term, R is the common ratio, and n is number of terms. This formula can be used when the sequence has a fixed number of terms. So for example, there is a given which is the common ratio is 2, the A is 5, and the number of terms is 7. So we need to substitute it to the formula, which is S sub n is equals to A multiplied by 1 minus R raised to the power of n divided by 1 minus R, because the ratio is not equal to 1. So we need to substitute. So S sub 7 is equals to 5 multiplied by 1 minus 2 raised to the power of 7 divided by 1 minus 2. So 2 raised to the power of 7 is 128. So 1 minus 128 is equals to negative 127. And 1 minus 2 is equals to negative 1. So negative 127 divided by negative 1 is 127 itself. It's positive. So 5 times positive 127 is 635. Therefore, the sum of the 7 terms are 635. Let's have another example. If r is equals to 1, so the given is we need to find the sum of the 7th term when the common ratio is 1 and the first term is 5. So we need to use this formula, s equals to n multiplied by a. So we need to substitute wherein the 7 is the n and the 5 is a. So n a. So 7 times 5 is equals to 35. So when we add the 7 terms, if the common ratio is 1, the answer is 35. So always remember that using this formula, we need to have a fixed number of terms because it is finite. There is an ending. So let's proceed to the infinite geometric formula. If r, or the common ratio, is less than 1, so the formula is s sub to the infinite is equals to a multiplied by a divided by 1 minus r, where s is the sum of the n terms, a is the first term, and r is the common ratio. So let's give it an example. So find the sum of the infinite geometric sequence wherein the given is 16, 8, 4, 2, and so on. And its ratio is 0.5. Its first term is 16. So we need to substitute here in the formula wherein our a, or first term, is 16. 1 minus our ratio, which is 0.5. So 16 divided by 0.5 is 32. So if we sum up this infinite series to if we sum up this infinite series, the answer is 32. So just remember, when you encounter a situation when there is no ending or last term, which is the letter n, you need to use this formula, this infinite geometric formula. So that's all. Thank you. If you have any clarification, you can contact me. Just search Pauleen Romaquin on Facebook. Thank you.